Hello everyone and welcome to the Commexis Cast Daily for Monday, October 9th, 2017. All the news you need to know from our inbox to yours. I'm Matthew McGrorty, the videographer and podcaster here at Commexis, and today I am joined by Phillip Brooks, the lead strategist at Commexis, and our president, Len Ward.
Good morning.
So today our first story is from Digiday's Ross Benez about AMP loading too fast, Google AMP loading too fast.
Yeah, so what this is, for those of you who aren't necessarily familiar with what Google AMP is, it's their accelerated mobile pages. What they are is a standardization optimized for speed that's supposed to really help with mobile viewers. Google, obviously their stress has always been user experience. So the AMP pages are really made with kind of a template in place, or best practices to say this page is going to load really quickly. It's going to be great on the experience is going to be great on a mobile app. It's going to be great on your mobile browser. But the complaints that we're seeing from this, as evidence in this article, is that with content loading so quickly that people are actually able to scroll past the ads before they're able to load, resulting in ads that aren't deemed viewable. Obviously, that's a big problem if you're spending money for those ads. And what they're saying is that it's actually more than half of those ads are compared to what normal page views are getting traction. So it's a huge discrepancy. It's almost 50% less. We don't really know what's going on with AMP because Google's kind of dipped a toe into it. They've recommended people do it, but they've stopped short of requiring people to do it. So we don't really know what that is going forward or what their plans are for it going forward.
Like we just said before this, I'm a little in the dark on AMP. I just don't think there's a lot out there on it. I understand what they're doing, but at this time, we don't have anybody doing this at all, right? Any of our clients?
Yeah, it's not something that we don't have anybody here that's certified in AMP. They have a little kind of course that you can go through to understand exactly how these standardization things can be applied to the site. It's essentially a templated page that utilizes these certain standards to say, okay, this is going to, images are this size, they fit in here, the copy's optimized in such a way, the page is going to load in such a way. It's, I like the idea behind it. I just don't understand you either go all in or
you do it
don't.
or you don't do it, yeah.
So I don't know what their expectation is unless they're just kind of floating it out there for people to beta test it. But ultimately, if mobile first is their strategy, this has to be it has to be the standard going forward for everyone if that's indeed what they're trying to do. So, I don't know what the drawback is unless they just make this the standard. So.
It doesn't have it in there in case people who are listening. You want to just describe what AMP is real quick?
Sure, yeah. So AMP is a program created by Google where they sort of taken third-party sources. They put together essentially, these are all standards that we've decided are going to make a page load as quickly as possible. And they've taken all those things, put them into one template, and said, okay, this is going to be the standard for accelerated mobile pages. And the thing that we're seeing, or that Google has talked about, is that they're supposed to give these pages some sort of boost in their rankings. It's part of the user experience boost that they're talking about for mobile first. But with AMP being just a set of guidelines that publishers are meant to follow, they all kind of wind up looking a little bit the same, which is a little weird. But I understand the thought process behind it. I just don't understand the halfway in and halfway out.
Yeah, well, that's Google.
Yeah.
For the last 15 years, halfway in and halfway out.
One of the interesting things from the article, where they talked about how, while this is a problem that the ads aren't loading as effectively, that they also mentioned that they might need better ad standards for AMP, because text, obviously, you can load text very fast, but if you have some sort of multimedia ad, which most people will have, there's an issue there. So
yeah, and that's interesting, because if you think about it, if that's the case, then those type of ads shouldn't come up when there should be a tag or something that you can flip off that says, okay, well, we don't want those types of ads to load on a AMP page. That's but I think this is kind of the key statement that Google stated, which really is that the aim of AMP is to load content first and ads second, which, great, except your job is to sell ads.
Yeah.
So, that's, it's nice that you're putting your content, your publishers first, but you're also removing their revenue stream.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit, to me, that's a little troubling if I hear that, if I'm spending the money for
I'm
those
an advertiser,
ads.
yeah.
So it's, the quicker the pages load, the more noticeable the lag on ad load becomes, and it's not just publishers that are being affected. On the Google's Exchange, the users are scrolling past them as well. So it's an issue that needs to be resolved, and they're going to have to apply some sort of standardization to the ads that fits better with the AMP publication standards. So the second story we want to talk about this week is just a kind of the flip side of this, which is ads that get by on their own merit that aren't necessarily being hindered in any way by the format of what's on the page. Fusion Media, the publisher of Gizmodo and Jezebel and a number of other sites, are essentially saying, if you build it, they will come. They're saying if you build the best ads, people will click on them. They're not, they're saying it's not as complicated as many of us are making it out to be. And they've worked with a company called Performance Pricing Limited, and then their technology is called Impressions Per Connection, gauges the quality of ads by monitoring the number of user clicks and mouse over, so it's kind of like a heat map. But what it's really saying is that the highest engagement rates get higher bonuses, which are capped at 20% of the total impressions purchased. Essentially, this is another metric for measuring how well ads are performing, but in this case, they're saying it's more geared towards a content perspective as opposed to just getting people through to the other end and getting people through the buyer's journey. Again, do ads exist on their own merit? Is that something we're actually worried about on the internet? This is, we're not having awards for this stuff. We just want to get people to buy stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, in a way, they are being awarded because they're giving them, additional incentives and bonuses for creating better ads. I mean, I think it's an interesting, kind of smart idea because, hey, if you make our web pages look better with your better ads, more people are probably going to spend time.
I mean, I understand, saying the kind of, we're always looking for a new metric, something to give us an edge on trying to figure out how our stuff can get better than it is. And obviously, we do high quality content here. We have great creative. We want to create ads that are engaging. But again, it's really, in the eye of the beholder. Once it's out there, it's out there. So we need to know, how that's going to perform. But again, our real measurement is conversions, getting people on the client's page and getting this stuff out there. So, even though it would be nice, it's nice to win awards. If they had a, internet version of a Clio and I wrote something, I would be thrilled. Yeah. I'd like to put on a tux. but I mean, again, to me, it's really just about getting our clients traffic and getting them, conversions. So this is an interesting piece of data that we can look at and see how things are progressing. But I don't know if it's necessarily applicable to a lot of the stuff that we're doing here. So.
Okay. Well, thank everybody for tuning in to today's episode of the Commexis Cast Daily. Check us out tomorrow and every day this week for more of the trending news. Have a great day.